Good morning, everyone, and welcome back. Today we are getting in this garden. Whether we're going to be covered in mud or not, I do not care. It's been about a week since I've been in the garden because we've just had storms. I have a deep tilled garden, so like if it rains, it's just a mud pit. So yeah. I am hoping, praying that there are some red tomatoes in there. Plus we have some fun stuff I'm getting ready to show you that we're going to get to harvest. A lot of them are first year growing for me from seed, and I'm so excited. So I hope you stick around, and let's just dive right in to this year's garden. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to be harvesting is this bee balm, which just has exploded. Now behind it is marshmallow. This is supposed to be marshmallow, but I grew both of them from seed, and the bee balm has just, it's beautiful. So we're going to start harvesting them because I looked it up and they said once it starts blooming, you want to start harvesting to promote more growth. So we'll do that. We have some basil that's starting to try to go to seed, so we're going to harvest that. This is lemon balm. Going to harvest more of that for tea. We have some basil. That all looks wonderful. We have our dills coming back. Still no flowers on this pineapple sage, but I'm going to harvest some of it too because the leaves are just as good for teas as the flowers. And the basil. So I've been taking little chunks off of the basil and just keeping it on my counter and using fresh. But if we have red tomatoes, I have recipes that need basil and oregano. So I'm going to wait and see how many red tomatoes, fingers crossed we have some, and then go from there on what I want to harvest. Look at this. So this is the scalloped squash. This plant, I can't even get it all in focus, is massive. And it has just been doing so well. I'm going to seed save from it. I'm going to try to seed save from everything, but this it's been so good. I'm not sure when to pick. I've picked them at this size, like that one I'm going to leave. This Big Mac Daddy. Ooh. I'm going to take though. Look at that. Now I just got to find some recipes. I've been just like sauteing them, but I really want to stuff one. Okay, so there's the rest from this side of the scalloped squash. Got another one, and then I have more cucumbers from this plant. Now, since it has weeds, what I've been actually doing the past couple weeks is just lifting the vines up over top of the weeds so that they can get more airflow. And it's actually been working really well. But I wanted to talk quickly about seed saving cucumbers. So it's super easy to do. I was kind of hoping I had a big one like I did last week, but I did not. Honestly, all you have to do to seed save cucumbers is wait until they go overripe on the vine. So once they get like a deep yellowish orange color and they're just real big and bulky looking, that's the time that you want to pluck it for seed saving. So like I could have left these on and let them, I don't want to lose that little one. But I could have let these on the plant and let them get nice and big and overripe, and then you seed save from them, because by then you have nice big viable seeds, and then you just separate them from the pulp and let them dry. That's all there is to it. Store in an airtight container. They're super easy to seed save. Okay, look at that. So it is a zucchini, I am positive of that. I'm thinking, or correct me if I'm wrong, but I think these are the 8-ball zucchinis, which I've never grown. Again, these were from seed, but like this is how they started out, is looking like that. And I have more on the other side that are tiny, but that one just took off. But I don't see any more, but I think that's an 8-ball zucchini. And since it looks like that one overgrew, I'll definitely seed save from it as well. We have a lot more baby ones. There, and there, and there. So again, oh, there's some down there too. I'm just going to open this up. I don't really want to pull the weeds because the ground's too wet. And with zucchini and squash, their roots are really close to the surface, which is why you put them in the mounds. And so I don't want to accidentally rip up them, but I'm going to give them a little more airflow. And ooh, we have stuff over here too. So, yellow squash. Everything's just really late this year, but I'm getting such a good harvest regardless. So those obviously are not ready yet. You guys, I found a monster. I found a monster. And here we are, creeping up on it in its natural habitat. Oh my goodness. This thing is huge. I don't even know if I can get it off one-handed. Oh, I can't. There's my foot as comparison. That is massive. This is obviously one of my zucchinis. Okay, so I had one already rotten on this. So we're going to go ahead. This one's early. We're going to go ahead and pick it. And then more monsters. And this is just from a week, guys. So last week, I had nothing. This is how good a good rain is. And like, they're huge. Okay, so I picked those. There are some small ones on the plant, but they're too small. They're smaller than that little zucchini. So I'm going to leave them to grow some more. I can't remember what variety that is. I feel like I planted a yellow zucchini, if there is such a thing. I'll have to look back because I have it written down and see what I planted. But oh, my tomato plant fell. We've really been dealing with, or I have, I guess, deer this year eating my tomatoes, but we're going to harvest all those. I think there was only one that you can see, like, this is why I haven't been able to get in. But we're going to look at all my winter squash and pumpkins and melons and see how they're doing, because this is the first year that they've actually been thriving or growing at all. Let's see. Oh, so there's one. Lift it up out all of the mud. Woohoo! Okay, they're little, but we have a lot of little baby melons growing. And then this is actually my loofah. So my loofah is just taking over, which is perfectly fine with me. I didn't like this. This is loofah. Here we go. So here's another watermelon. And this is just like a vine forest. But we have this nice little watermelon. I'm just gonna put it on top so it doesn't rot. Oh, here's another one. I knew I had another one. Here's another nice sized one. Again, this one is also very gently. I'm just gonna sit it on top so that it doesn't sit in the mud. That's pretty much all I'm worried about right now. One of these things is not like the other. Apparently someone had a snack in my loofah bed. Oh, there's another one. Oh, yay. Just give you a little bed to sit on. I had originally wanted all this to be, and I even set it up that way, for all this to be lifted up off the ground and trellised, but I just never got to it. But everything's thriving, so like, I'm not upset about it. Here is just what I harvested from that one little row. So now we're gonna dive into the tomatoes and the peppers. Okay, so first we're gonna do this row. It's the shortest row. This first plant is not German Queen, but the other 6 are. They're all German Queen, so we're gonna get to picking. And also, so the splitting that you're seeing, this is still a viable tomato. Whenever it gets really hot, the skin of the tomatoes become real leathery, and then whenever it rains, so just think of like leather shrinking up, and then you're rehydrating. It's like, that's what happens with the tomatoes. But as long as you catch them in time, they're not going to rot. Like, they're still perfectly good to eat. Now this one has been munched on. Also, if you have some that are like mostly ripe, I would go ahead and pick them. Like this one probably just needs a couple more days and then it'll be good. So I can set that on like a windowsill, because from where it's already splitting, they'll rot before you can actually get to them, especially if you can't get into your garden in an appropriate amount of time. But like that, still perfectly fine. Looks like I'm gonna have a green tomato because I just picked it off the vine. Fried green tomato. Okay, so just harvested off of this one. It doesn't look mighty, but I just got all 6 of these off of one little section. These are beef steaks. It said red beef steak. Okay, so this, I didn't know that a tomato plant survived right here, but there's the base of it, and it's flowering, it's doing its thing. But these are those spoon tomatoes. Now they're supposed to get red, but I've been eating them orange and they're delicious. So maybe they're supposed to be eaten. Yeah, that one's starting to. But I found some 5-gallon buckets. So I don't know if I will plant these again, because like they're good. They're good, don't get me wrong. But it's a very tedious work for a teeny tiny harvest. Oh, and if you lose one, you're not finding it. And they, like a lot of them, from where they're already just so tiny, when they bust, it pretty much ruins them, which sucks. And this plant, I can't even get it all in though. It said, I will not be contained because it's sprouting out everywhere. It's one of my cherry varieties. I think it's, I don't know. I'll have to look. I have them marked, but like it is everywhere and it's loaded. I only see little yellow ones down at the bottom though. Okay, so this variety, now I remember this plant. It's actually Champagne Bubble, which is a rare variety, and they're pale yellow. So those were actually ripe and ready to go. So I went ahead and picked them and accidentally knocked off some. So I picked those and I'll let them ripen. But that's why. If you ever grow the Champagne Bubble, it takes indeterminate plant to a whole new level. Oh my goodness. Look. So these are the Genevieve Italian tomato. They are divine. The strawberry, black strawberry, or the blueberry. I planted both. So it's one of those cherry tomato varieties. But this is when they're ready to pick. Aren't they beautiful? Yummy. And yellow pear. And then here's the other variety. So pretty. And again, that's fine. You can just cut that away. So we're moving on to peppers. This is the wild chitlin chili pepper. They grow like a Tabasco. But what I'm doing, since it's way too wet to weed, I'm just kind of pushing down everything so that they don't get... Ooh, look at that! What are you? Habanero. Okay, so more habaneros. I'm going to go ahead and pick these so that the plant will continue a-growing. Because it's still pretty little. But I definitely don't want the weeds to kill my pepper plants. Here's my peppercini, one of them. I'm gonna leave that on because in a couple days, oh shoot, maybe not. But in a couple days these will be ready, and then I'll have hopefully enough to pickle because I have a couple plants. Jalapenos, they're ready. I guess the point of this video is not let the fact that you've let your whole entire garden get overrun with weeds stop you from going in and harvesting. Now these are called Eliza pepper. They're supposed to be super, super, super sweet. Got a couple of them. The plant is thriving. We have tons all over this plant. Okay, so I ended up going ahead and picking because the pepperoncinis because I found more. I still don't have a lot. So as much as I want to pickle them because I use them a lot, I don't know if I'm ever going to get enough to do that. But if I pickle something else, then I may pickle them. But the eggplant was like a one and done. They're dying off. And honestly, I probably won't do the melanzane again. Now, I could have picked them too early, but like they were ready, but they were little. Couldn't really do anything with them. So that was sad. But the only thing I have left to do is pick a couple more tomatoes that I missed. I'm going to pick some blackberry. Oh, my cabbage is coming back, guys. I'm going to have fall cabbage. I'm going to get ready and cover this with the mesh. This is coming back from whenever it got eaten a couple months ago. Yeah. That's exciting. Is anything else coming back? Oh, yep. Look at that. This is more cabbage. So I guess I'm going to weed this. I hadn't planned on it. But all my cabbage is coming back. Sweet. And it was a hybrid. And it's still coming back. Well, hot diggity. And now, the gardener's treat. Look at that bad boy. Focus. There's a few places actually where these grow, so I guess I'm gonna be picking them too. Okay, so I gave everything a nice little trim. So we have sage, oregano, bunch of basil, pineapple sage, some dill, thyme, and rosemary. My parsley's pretty much done. I have a little bit. That's a tree. I have a little bit, but it's pretty much going to seed. And then over here is just tea stuff. So we have lemon balm, the bee balm, which if you're wanting to harvest bee balm for tea, now this is my first year doing it, but from my research, you want to cut the stem 8 to 10 inches from the flower and keep clipping every time you see flowers because it promotes more growth. So I cut all the flowers off. There's still tons on that plant, or like tons of leaves and stuff, but these were all the blooms, and you're supposed to tie them together, hang them upside down, and then once everything dries, you grind it all up together for your tea. The leaves, the stems, and the flowers. And then we have lime basil, which I wasn't super impressed about, although it does really smell like lime. So I'm going to put it in tea. And then we have Thai basil, which I will not grow again. It's not bad, but again, nothing like a regular basil plant production wise. It does have a slightly licorice type smell to it, so I think it'll be good in tea too. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're wondering where the blackberries are, they were eaten by the gardener. My treat to myself. But I am so excited about this harvest. I cannot wait to bring you along for some canning recipes. I already know what I'm doing with the green beans, so stick around for that. Subscribe if you have not subscribed already, so that you don't miss anything. It's going to get fun in my kitchen with preserving all this stuff. So I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you on my next video. Thanks for watching, and I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend.